Hey everyone, it's Lisa McCrowan. I wanted to do this outside today because it's just so beautiful and we will be evoking the senses, and so I thought, oh, how wonderful just to be outside and hear the birds. We have so many birds where we live, and so I wanted to welcome you to this space. It's part of our backyard. Self-compassion, there's a lot we can say about that. There's two main things that I'd love to share with you, and then we'll get into a practice together, and I'll lead you through a nourishing time and read a poem to you. Two things. One is there's a myth about self-compassion that it's self-indulgent, we don't deserve it. Some people push it away because they don't deserve it, and if I'm kind to myself, then I'm going to let myself off the hook and I'm going to become self-absorbed. It's just simply not true. It's just not true. Every single person I have ever worked with in somatic experiencing and in integrative coaching could use a dose of self-compassion. Because here's the second thing that I want to talk about is that, and the first one kind of gets answered or remedied with this second thing I want to bring up with you, is that actually when we are compassionate toward ourselves, that is the seed. Self-compassion is the seed for creating any kind of harmony, supporting and bringing about and manifesting any kind of harmony that we want in our homes, in our relationships, in our communities, in our politics, and in our workplaces and our world. The seed for a more compassionate, harmonious, united world is self-compassion. And here's the thing, is when we are kind to ourselves, when we regard ourselves with self-care, with self-nurturance, and are kind to ourselves, especially when we're suffering and we're having a hard time, it brings tears to my eyes because it does so much. That abundance of love can't stay contained within you. It is for your well-being. It is for your well-being and for your goodness and for you to experience. And it organically, that love and tenderness and regard and that softening and that gentleness, that love flows out of you organically to influence the world around you. Your children, your partner, your roommates, your co-workers, the people that you supervise and that you lead, your community and neighborhood, our world, even politics. Our world needs more compassion. I am all about creating a more compassionate world, and it begins every day in little moments with regard and care and compassion for ourselves. So, those are the two main things I wanted to share with you. Now, let me lead you through this break. So I can hear the birds right now. So let's evoke the senses. Let's start with that. Just giving yourself this opportunity to be present, to be right here. Knowing that we will get back to everything in a moment. So take a moment, and whether you're sitting or laying down, imagine the earth underneath you. Mother Earth supporting you. Give in to that support. Let yourself be supported. That's part of having compassion for ourselves. Soften or close your eyes. Oh, our eyes work so hard in the day, especially right now, like on our computers and all the Zoom meetings and things. Let your eyes soften. Then you might soften into the jaw, into the throat, and you might feel the shoulders move back and down. Soften into the belly. And then go ahead and place your hand on your heart. There's another video that's all about this hand on heart practice. And just feel here the gentle pressure of your hand, the gentle support of your hand. feel the beating of your heart. And then just listen to the sounds, either around you or right here in nature here in our backyard. You might see the gentle breeze with the moving the branches and the leaves. Feel your hand here again, the warmth of your hand and your heart, the beating of your heart, that aliveness moving through you. And if you've just come off of having a hard moment, like maybe you turned this on because you were having a hard moment and you needed this self-compassion break, you might say to yourself, oh, I love this phrase. I teach it to everybody in psychotherapy and integrative coaching, is this is hard right now. What I just experienced, that was hard. Name that. Yeah. Feel that softening. Feel that letting go. Experience that homecoming right now. We have difficult moments, and instead of trying to buck up and pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, what actually builds resiliency is compassion, ironically, is softening. And as you're there, listen to these words. This is called Love Starts Here. Love starts here. Love has to start here. Then you'll see it, like in this poem, that it organically flows out as offering and blessing to those around us. Because any change that we want in our relationships, maybe you want to change with your partner, with your roommate, with a parent, with your child, it starts in your workplace. It starts here with how we regard and treat ourselves at these little tiny moments, to allow ourselves to experience pleasure and goodness and joy, whether you think you deserve it or not. And also to regard yourself when you're suffering. Even just with that lovely phrase of like your hand on your heart and this is hard right now. This is hard right now. What tenderness. Okay, so love starts here. Love starts here. Gently placing your own hand on your heart, feeling this breath as it arises, full or shallow, and loving what is, however it is within you. And then slowly, from such radical acceptance, love begins to flow again within you and all around you as abundant blessing at the breakfast table, the post office, the commuter train. Love starts here, tenderly cupping your cheek with your own hand, the way your mom or someone who cared for you very deeply used to do, or should have done. Gently, gently holding all that arises without judgment, only tenderness and spaciousness. Love starts here, in this moment, this choice to soften, to open and connect to your breath and your beloved. Feeling yourself finally beginning to let go and letting love in. And then slowly, from such radical compassion, kindness lights a path into the dark crevices of your inner landscape. The stone walls around your heart begin to crumble, revealing a soft, tender heart that pulses with the light of the stars and longs to breathe and shine its light into this hungry world. Love starts here. I am telling you, give yourself a few weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks, a month of regarding yourself when you are suffering with your hand on your heart, and this is hard right now, and letting yourself have little moments of joy and pleasure, whether you think you deserve it or not. You will be transformed. Your relationships will then be transformed. Your light, your inner vibrancy will shine, and it will make all the difference. And you will be helping ushering in a new way of being that is happening and is emerging on our planet. One that is much more united, loving, compassionate world.